Hi, Kristen Solomon here, Court Liaison Advocate for Right Turn Impact. Today I'm at the Law Office of Miller Berman, here to meet with Jason Miller and Mike Berman, criminal defense attorneys located in Lamb, Maryland. Let's go upstairs and talk with them and learn more about them and their practice and to see why they trust Right Turn Impact for their clients.
Hi, welcome to the office of Miller Berman. Jason and Mike will be right with you.
Thank you so much.
You're welcome.
Hey Kristen, how are you?
Mike, hi, how are you? So good to see you. Thank you so much.
Kristen, how's
Jason,
it going?
hi, so good to see you.
Good to see
Thank
you
you
as
so much
well.
for having me.
Just come on back, join us.
Great.
I'd like to start with a quote that has kind of guided my career and I keep up on the wall in my office. And that's that people don't care how much you know until they know how much you care. And that's really been a guiding principle for us here at Miller Berman with Mike and I. When a client walks through the door, they're not just another name, another number, another case file. We really take pride in making sure that we're trying to give them the best possible service that we can. After 15 years in the state's attorney's office, I had seen how the system worked and I gained this knowledge and I wanted to use that in a different way. I'd spent a decade and a half building cases against individuals, and now I wanted to use that knowledge fighting on behalf of individuals. We wanted to build something from the ground up, something that was client first, compassionate. We wanted to give people that small firm feeling with that large firm preparation. And I think that's where our backgrounds really mesh well together, bringing the prior prosecution, teaching law enforcement, teaching at the University of Baltimore Law School. All of that helps distinguish us and helps set us up for success, which translates into our clients.
The experience at the state's attorney's office really helped me, and I know Jason, approach cases in a different way. We know how the prosecutors think. And we also went through the same training that the police officers did as it relates to the administration of the standardized field sobriety tests. So for example, Jason and I went to the police station. We actually learned how to administer those tests. So when we're evaluating a case, we know what the officers are looking for as far as clues of impairment. But more importantly, we know if they're administering the test correctly, which can go a long way, because DUI cases, not many people know this, but they're very technical, they're very scientific. So when you have the same training as the officers and you can speak their language, you get a lot of deference in a cross-examination.
And that's, really why I think we love partnering with Right Turn. They bring the aspect of helping prepare the person for court, helping them get that treatment, and then we can bring the technical court aspect, and it really complements each other, trying to look at it in a holistic way, because I think, look, people will remember how they were treated long after they remember the case, okay? So if you're returning those calls, you're compassionate, you're treating people with dignity and respect, and maybe the system didn't treat them that way, that's gonna go a long way in getting people to make a change. And that's really what we're working to do in these cases, is to help people and make a change for the better.
Yeah, when I am speaking with a client for the first time, and oftentimes this is when I'm telling them things that they should do prior to court, whether it be Right Turn or Mothers Against Drunk Driving Victim Impact Panel, that's what we call mitigation. And a lot of clients will ask me, hey, won't that make me look guilty? But the answer is no. The judge will never see that until we actually get to a sentencing phase. And that mitigation can actually help you when we're negotiating with the prosecutor, because first of all, they can't use it at trial. But if I can show that this person has actually been rehabilitated by going to a place like Right Turn, sometimes the prosecutor will reduce the charges or even dismiss them completely.
And I always say that we're going to prepare for the worst, and we're going to go in there and we're going to fight for the best. Trials are unpredictable. You never know what's going to happen, and we want to be prepared. I also have gone and I've presented at Right Turn during their weekender program, and people often ask me, why? Why do you do that? Why do you keep going back? And every time I walk through that door and I see the individuals there, it just rejuvenates me, seeing them wanting to better their lives, okay? And being able to help them understand the process and kind of know that they have somebody there, whether it's me or some other attorney fighting on their behalf and in their corner. A lot of people who are struggling with substance abuse or facing the DUI charges, need to know that there are people there supporting them and fighting for them. And hopefully, the way that we approach these cases in that client-first manner can help them get through these issues.
It might sound counterintuitive because we're criminal defense attorneys, but we do not like repeat customers. I don't want the phone call that says, hey Mike, I messed up, I got another DUI, can you represent me? And again, that might seem counterintuitive, but it makes me feel like I didn't do a great job as their lawyer in addressing the underlying issues. What I'd much rather have is that phone call down the line that says, hey, my life has changed ever since you represented me, ever since you sent me to Right Turn, and I'd much rather hear that success story. That's what makes me feel good. Doing that will let the judge know that you really took this matter seriously, and it can really get you a great outcome in court.
That's good.
Thanks,
Well
man.
done.
Good. Well done.
A lot of us have people that we know and love that might have substance abuse issues, and it's difficult, and a lot of those people don't know that they have these problems. So when I give someone a mitigation program that might involve Right Turn or some other alcohol education, they're probably doing it to check a box initially. They're probably doing it because their lawyer told them to. I tell people, hey, if you go to the doctor's office and you have a headache, he writes you a prescription. If you don't take the prescription, you can't get mad at the doctor that you still have a headache. So that's kind of my thought process when I'm giving someone the things that they could do to get better, right? But initially it might be checking this box and, I'm just doing it because my lawyer told me. But I can't tell you how many times that someone down the line, after the case is over, says, hey, I'm really glad that you told me to go to Right Turn because I learned so much. I didn't even realize that I had an alcohol problem until I went there, and now I'm addressing it. My life is better. I have better relationships with my kids, with my wife, with my family, with my friends. And that's really what it's all about. That's why we do what we do. That call is the highlight of my week, my month, my year.
That's what makes referring individuals to Right Turn so simple. I mean, Right Turn isn't just about compliance. It's about connection, and making sure they're working towards that meaningful change moving forward to have those results in their lives.
Meet cute?
Sure.
Is that what you want?
Meet cute? Yes.
All right.
I just couldn't get away from him. I mean, what can I say?
I know.
Right?
So I've known Jason for about 10 years. Fun fact, he actually used to be my boss back at the Anne Arundel County State's Attorney's Office. I hope I was a good employee.
We'll have to check out that review and compare. We'll see.
Yeah, he was a great boss, and the time came for me to kind of transition into private practice. It's something that I always knew that I wanted to do. So I started working for a small to medium-sized law firm. A couple years went by. The firm said that they wanted to hire another lawyer, and they asked me if I knew anyone. And even though he had been, what all people would say is a career prosecutor, he'd been in the office for 15 years, my mind went to Jason. I had always really respected his work ethic, how he approached cases, very detail-oriented, and I reached out to him, and I'm like, hey, do you want to, make the jump to private practice? I know he probably didn't cross your mind, but we're looking for a lawyer. And thankfully, he said yes. We worked together for a few years at that
Well, I think,
firm.
I had trained you well, so you were a good advocate in getting me to come over onto the private side.
I could be very persuasive, so I was able to do that and got him over to the dark side, so to speak. And he really excelled at it. He had a great aptitude for private practice, and a couple years goes by, and we kind of had this idea of, what if we started our own firm and approach things, a little bit differently.
It's been a great partnership. Mike was a great person to have work for me. He's a great person to work with, and I couldn't have asked for anybody better to partner up and start Miller Berman. Our goal always is to get our clients the best outcome. Now, whether that means go to trial or whether that means try to resolve the case by way of some other resolution, whether that's a plea, whether that's drug or DUI court, right? All of that is going to be dictated by the individual case. I've had many clients, who have come before me, both as a prosecutor and as a defense attorney, who, hey, look, here it's a risk-reward analysis that you have to do, and sometimes, you can get a great result. without taking a case to trial. But that's going to be dictated by the facts of each individual case. And I think our experience, having built these cases up, having worked for so long on the other side, having handled these cases for so long on this side, positions us well to be able to find the deficiencies in the state's case and to fight and advocate on behalf of our clients.
Yeah, I mean, coming up as a prosecutor, there were certain lawyers where you would look at your docket sheet and you would see, whoever's name, and you go, oh crap. And I kind of approach my career in that way. That's what the reaction that I want when a prosecutor sees my name on that piece of paper or Jason's name on that piece of paper. When you hire Miller Berman, you're getting really two lawyers for the price of one. Our offices, I don't know if you can see on this video, are about 6 feet apart from each other. We're round tabling every day. We talk about these cases every single day. We operate as a team, and we're looking for these creative defenses that a lot of lawyers, they might just plead their client guilty. Does that mean you shouldn't do your mitigation? Does that mean that you shouldn't prepare? No. Things break your way when you're prepared, okay? Maybe you're prepared and the police officer doesn't show up. Maybe you're prepared and we are able to notice some inconsistencies in the police report. It's super important to be prepared. It's also super important for us to have great communication with the client. The clients are going to have our cell phone numbers. That's just the way it is. And so when I give my cell phone number to a client, I'm a husband, I'm a father of 3. I asked that they, please don't abuse it. But if they do need to get a hold of me, I think that that's really important to be able to get a hold of your lawyer whenever you need to. So that's super important for me. Communication, preparation, and then we've got that team atmosphere here, and I think that it really allows us to get outcomes that a lot of lawyers in the state can't get.
And I think that's the foundation for those good outcomes, right? Knowing that you have a team of individuals, paired with Right Turn and paired with Mike and myself in your corner fighting on your behalf is what's going to allow us to be prepared and to be ready and to maybe take that case to trial knowing that we're well mitigated regardless of the outcome. Why choose Right Turn? It's an easy answer. They care. They care. They're there on behalf of the client. I feel like I have a partner in my corner helping me fight back against the system and helping my clients fight back against the system. And a lot of times I think that goes a long way for a client. Knowing that people care and are there for them allows them to maybe let go of some of the other things that they've been dealing with, that they've been trying to get through and address the underlying issues that they have. In addition, Right Turn is always there for us in court, right? They're there, they're speaking on behalf of the clients. They are singing the praises of the success stories and letting the judges know about the hard work that our clients put in. And that goes a long way.
Right Turn commands the respect of courtrooms throughout the state of Maryland. I've had Kristen, I've had Ron come to court, and I can't tell you how many times the judge will see them in the courtroom, they're about to get up and speak, and the judge is like, no, I know exactly why they're here, and they take that as fact. The fact that someone completed that Right Turn Weekender program goes a long way. It goes a long way in letting the judge know that you took it seriously. It also goes a long way in the sentencing phase of the case, right? Let's face it, there's a difference between weekends in jail, months in jail, and God forbid, years in jail. The judges will give you dollar for dollar credit for the time that you spent in Right Turn, and the fact that you did Right Turn will allow them to know that this person is rehabilitated and they don't have to worry about this person going out and reoffending and getting another DUI, because ultimately that's a judge's and that's a prosecutor's worst nightmare. If they're too lenient on someone and then they go out and have another impaired driving offense that, God forbid, kills someone. So that's why Right Turn is a place that I absolutely recommend and endorse wholeheartedly.
Well, I think having Right Turn in our corner also allows us the freedom to do what we do best, and that's take cases to trial and challenge the state at every corner of their evidence, right? And so having, Kristen there on behalf talking about, the work that my client put in, gives me, takes that burden off my shoulder, and allows me, like I said, to handle the case as needed.
Some of the best success stories start with they're just checking the box, because a lot of people with substance abuse problems don't know that they have a problem until they go to a place like Right Turn that can actually identify the problem, help someone address the problem. So it might start as I'm just checking the box, and the result might be something you never even knew, and something that can really change your life for the better.